just got back from the gym. You guys are going to see an update out of me for week 2 of the CARNIVEGAN challenge. But this morning it's really been kind of on my mind, thinking about some of the questions that you guys have asked, getting some of our answers. The dog's coming in to come hang out during the shoot this morning. He's still tired. So let's just jump right into it. I had a really good friend of mine, Seth Poland, reached out to me and asked why I'm not doing more of a locally grown specific diet. Obviously, Billy is harvesting a lot of stuff from Colorado with his deer meat, that kind of stuff. The problem with where I live is that we don't have a huge variety of locally grown vegetables. We're a very big corn, canola, wheat type growing area. It'd be different if we were in Southern California and you had tons of fruits and vegetables and lots of access to a variety of things, but it really restricts the diet and the nutrient contents, the things that I need to create a good width of vitamin intake for myself if I were to stick with just the things that I could get available. I'd basically be eating corn all day long, sunflower seeds, those kind of things. So it's a good thought, and I really like the idea. And, you know, especially for possible future content as far as trying out just a few meals of locally specific diet. It's a really good thought, but that's kind of where things landed on that when we had that discussion early on. But it's an awesome question, Seth. Thanks for asking. We'll do a quick shout out to Rebecca, all the girls at IA Wellness, everyone at IA Wellness for following us. They called, had some questions for me for work, and we ended up talking about this challenge, and they were super interested. I've gotten a lot of followers from them, so I wanted to give those guys a shout out for being interested, talking through it, having some fun chat about it. The next one, Megan, and I'm sorry if I butcher your last name, Gavachi, I believe, down in Oklahoma. She said she felt terrible when she went raw. She is currently, I believe, carnivore. And I'm curious, and I need to reach out to her and see if she went from a strict carnivore diet to like being essentially vegan, which is not something I'd probably recommend. I never recommend going from one extreme to the other. She says that she basically eats mostly meat, basically essentially carnivore diet. And I'd like to see her incorporate a little bit more vegetables, see if, you know, maybe not necessarily raw, doing some different things as far as her cooking techniques, to see if she can incorporate a little bit and see if that helps ease her into it. Obviously, Billy and I are on the extremes, and we'd like to see everyone a little more in the middle, you know, a good balance in life, if that's what you're looking for. So I will reach out to her for that. The other really cool thing she has going on, so they have 20 acres down in Oklahoma, and I mean, they have everything from, she's talked about planting pecan trees, they have plenty of room for a garden. She really wants to do her own medicinal herbs, which I think is an awesome concept. I think it's something we've gotten away from a lot in modern medicine, and obviously I'm in modern medicine to a certain extent. And it's really cool, and there's a lot of studies and a lot of science behind using more natural herbs to clear up some things that, you know, obviously we're treating chemically that we don't necessarily have to. So I'm really interested to see where she goes with that. I love your ideas. It's awesome. Please keep talking, sending us questions, Megan, and we'll keep answering as much as we can. Margie Pasker, God, I'm so bad with name, guys. I really am sorry. She wants to see Billy and I switch after 3 months. She wants to see Billy go vegan and me go carnivore. I don't think it's going to happen. It's a really cool idea. Like I told Megan earlier on, I wouldn't ever recommend going from one extreme immediately to the other. There needs to be a transition period there, obviously. It's something Billy and I can talk about, but I think especially with Billy's health problems, if carnivore works out really well for him and he's seeing the results he wants, I don't see him jumping to the other side of the wire just to see what it's like, you know, with, you know, the benefits that he's getting from carnivore, hopefully. And I don't really have a huge desire to go completely carnivore. It's not a personal thing. It's not kind of my style. I like my fruits and veggies. I like variety. Um, but you never know. So interesting concept. We'll talk about it. We'll let you know. For now, I'm just going to put a pin in it. A good friend of mine here in Dickinson, Gage, she asked a lot of really fun, interesting questions about what I'm doing. She asked if I was going to incorporate any exotic herbs and veggies. Yes, I would love to incorporate a lot more exotic veggies, things I saw living in New Zealand and traveling in Thailand, and all these kind of cool fruits, cool veggies, cool herb combinations. Problem is access. Obviously, we live in a small community here. We have access in some of the bigger towns around here to certain things. So I'll see what I can find. I'll try to spice it up. I'll try to get a little variety out there and see what we can do. She asked if I'm using any sugar and is it organic? No. I am typically, so there's my asterisk, not using sugar. There are some sauces I like to make, especially for some stir fries, especially for pickling some vegetables where I do use a little bit of sugar. I typically use coconut sugar. It is organic coconut sugar, but I try to steer away from it. Most of what I'm eating, I mean, a lot of these fruits have great fructose in them anyway. So I'm trying not to add anything into that because there's already a lot coming at me. Obviously, if you've seen any of my smoothie bowls, that kind of stuff, there's a lot of sweet, high fructose fruit in there, and I don't really need to add to that. She asked what I do for flavor. And this is my favorite question out of all these. I'm really appreciative to everyone that sent us stuff, but I use vegetables. I mean, there's so many cool, unique combinations of flavor in what I'm using fruit and vegetable wise that I don't really need a ton of spice. I spice my tofu quite a bit because tofu is one of those things that it really takes to whatever you put on it. Chili powder, garlic, whatever. It loves spice. And you can basically make it anything you want by adding a little bit of spice. So you'll see a lot of spicing on that end of things for me, but I do not use a ton of salt. I don't, obviously use a lot of garlic is my favorite, and it's awesome, and it's super universal. I can use it in a lot of dishes. I use a lot of hot sauces, those kind of things, to kind of keep my favorite flavors, kind of that Southwest American fusion type that I'm really accustomed to and grew up with. So I do use a lot of that kind of stuff to kind of add a little jump to things, but typically you don't need addition to your vegetables to get cool, unique flavors. If you know the combinations and you spent time around it, you can make amazing dishes without using any spice that taste amazing, that are super fresh, that aren't giving that added sodium or anything like that. So that's kind of where that's at for me. Her last question to me, and the last question for today, was, am I using any flour pasta or am I going strictly plant-based? I don't do a ton of pasta dishes, first of all. I like to use wild rice for a lot of things. Typically on a stir fry, I'll just do it over wild rice. I haven't been cooking a ton of Italian type dishes, which is where I would typically in my normal diet use pasta. The long and short of it is, yes, I will only use plant-based pasta. I'm trying to steer clear of any form of wheat. I'm trying to steer clear of bread. I do some corn tortillas instead of flour tortillas. I just want to try to be as close to the ground as humanly possible. I don't want things that have been processed like white flour, those kind of things that you see typically in pastas, breads, those kind of things. If you ever see me on bread, it's going to be a sprouted grain bread. Your body absorbs that and digests that better. But typically it's mostly about the vegetables, about the fruits. I'm trying not to bring any huge outside sources. But yes, there are cool vegetable pastas out there that I could possibly use. And we'll see. We'll see as it progresses, as I get more creative in the kitchen a little bit. what I end up with. So I wanted to start you guys' day with just a quick Q&A. I know it took a few minutes here to get through everything, but they're awesome questions. These are the things we'd love to see. These are the things that when we bring in dietitians or doctors to talk on this, these are the type of questions we're going to keep and bring back up. And you'll get our opinion, obviously, through Q&A like this, and then you're going to get professional answers to some of the things about like why Megan was feeling bad when she went raw, and getting more background on that. Why, from farmers around here, why do we not have quite the variety of locality ingredients that I could use? So stay tuned, keep sending us questions, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you guys see us, please, please, please send us questions, because this is really why we're doing it. This is, yeah, for the health reasons for us, but this is about getting information out. This is about getting information to you from the average Joes that are doing this challenge, and answering the things that come up as you guys watch us. So stay tuned, keep an eye out for my week 2 update. It's going to be a good one. Tell you where I'm at, how I'm feeling, and we will talk to you guys later in the day. Have a great one.